Hello and welcome to a new episode of Geek Lunch Me. I'm your host Chris, as usual. Hope you're all doing well. It's been lovely and sunny here in the south of England, and it looks like it's going to carry on for a little bit, which is fantastic. What I thought we would do in today's video is have a look. We've had some the first images released from ZACK SNYDER'S Rebel Moon movie, which is most famous for being the fact that it was a rejected script that he wrote for Star Wars. So yeah, we're going to take a look at that in a moment. Don't forget, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up. It helps the video get seen by a lot of people, helps out a great deal. And if you haven't already subscribed, why not mash that subscribe button? We would absolutely love to have you. There's been quite a few new subscribers in the last couple of weeks, which is fantastic. I'm glad you're all here. Hope you're enjoying the videos. So just before we talk Rebel Moon, there was another bit of news, and that was a photograph that was posted, which is from the set of the next Captain America movie, which up until recently was known as Captain America New World Order, and is now known as Captain America Brave New World. Yeah, the photo's got Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford, who is replacing the late William Hurt as Thunderbolt Ross. It's a great photo, great to see Harrison Ford. And the new costume, there were some other leaked photos a while back that showed a bit of Anthony Mackie's costume. I like it a lot more. It's a much more like the sort of Captain America suit we've got used to. I know the one in Falcon and Winter Soldier was quite comic accurate with the sort of the white sort of cowl sort of hood thing. I never liked it. It looks to me it looks, especially because it's white, it looks like a nun's wimple, which I find a bit strange. But whether or not he will be donning something similar, but the shots we've seen certainly would suggest that it's much more of traditional Captain America suit. Why the name change? I mean, speculation on the internet says New World Order has sort of become synonymous with sort of far right conspiracy theorist nutcases that say that there's this secret cabal of rich people in the world who are slowly bending the whole world to its will type of thing. So yeah, I can see maybe they decided to shy away from that, even though it's not unless you're sort of conspiracy theories or someone that's sort of into that sort of thing, it probably wouldn't even register. But yeah, I can sort of see why maybe they would shy away. Also, Brave New World, which is obviously a classic science fiction book by Aldous Huxley, which does feature sort of people living in a sort of a drug state, and sort of media hypnotizes them, tells them what to do. Which we've got the film is featuring the leader Tim Blake Nelson reprising his role back from that. Cast your mind back to the second Marvel movie, the Incredible Hulk movie, which had him sort of starting to transform at the end of that. Looked like he'd been forgotten about, but no, he's back. And I know there are stories in the comics where there is a bit of stuff to do with sort of mind control and things like that. So maybe it's got something linked in with that. Hopefully, rumor is as well that it will address the was it the giant like half celestial being that's stuck out of the earth from the end of Eternals, which again look like part of some brief mentions. I think in a sort of newspaper article in She-Hulk and sort of throwaway line and something else. Not been addressed since Eternals. I think it didn't do very well, and it's just sort of been pushed to one side and forgotten. Wouldn't surprise me if we never see a lot of those story threads that it had started. That we'd never see them picked up again. But the fact that you've got this, this celestial being stuck out of the earth, have to be addressed at some point. And word is that maybe Captain America: Brave New World will address that in some way. So yeah, that's coming. I think it's next April for that one. Yeah, before that, so we've got Rebel Moon, and I think it was Vanity Fair had these exclusive shots. I'll throw them up whilst I'm rambling on about the film. Yeah, so the film it's sort of infamous for, apparently it was the script that Zack Snyder wrote as a pitch for Star Wars, which was rejected. So he's basically retooled it and just doing it as a sort of standalone sci-fi. Possibly this may be if it's successful, but like with most things, if it's successful, he's got more installments planned. So let's hope that is the case. I know is it Army of the Dead that he did with the zombies in Vegas for Netflix. Obviously, I know he said there was an anime. I think there was an anime series planned and a sequel movie. And instead, so far, all we've had is the sort of prequel film that just featured one of the characters. That was it, the Safecracker, that had absolutely nothing to do with zombies whatsoever. Yeah, because I don't say again, I don't think the first one was as well received as they were hoping. So that doesn't seem to have gone anywhere. Hopefully, Rebel Moon will be different. I'm not sure how long this has been hanging around. Basically, the synopsis on IMDb says a young woman seeks out warriors from other planets to fight for the tyrannical armies terrorizing her peaceful colony. Now, if that sort of sounds familiar, it's because it's the basic story of Seven Samurai, which then became the Magnificent Seven. It's the story of Bug's life. And it's been done in sci-fi before. If you can remember Battle Beyond the Stars from 1980, the Roger Corman movie, which is exactly, it's a rip-off of the Magnificent Seven in space with George Papard from A-Team, was it Robert Vaughn, and the guy that played John Boy Walton as the hero as well. With some great fabulously designed spacecraft. And it's a good fun movie, but done on a budget. But yeah, it's not an original plot, but we're getting it regurgitated again for Rebel Moon. Now, I remember reading when the sort of big announcement was made years ago that Disney had bought Lucasfilm and was going to make new Star Wars movies, and there was talk about what was coming down the pipeline. And there was talk of these, that we would make a Boba Fett movie and a Kenobi movie and things like that. Now, I remember reading there being a pitch for basically the Seven Samurai, and it would be Yoda basically in charge, and all these other people that he gathered together would be other aliens, and there wouldn't really be any human characters in it. Now, that sort of has sort of fallen away. Never heard anything more about that. It might have just have been a rumor. But obviously, this now sort of ties in. It makes me wonder if Zack Snyder had pitched this story all the way back to Lucasfilm before Disney even took over. So it'd be interesting to see. So you can see from the stills, it looks good. Zack Snyder, he's a great visual director. And I really like all of his stuff except for his DC superhero movies. Man of Steel was okay. Anything after that didn't really do anything for me, but I enjoy all of his earlier work. I say he's got a great visual sense. So it's probably, yes, the film is going to look gorgeous, and that probably goes without saying. It's whether or not the script obviously is there. I hope it is. To get another great sci-fi space opera would be fantastic. I did a video the other day about the creator, Gareth Edwards' sci-fi movie that's coming out in September, which again looks absolutely gorgeous. It was very sort of Star Wars vibes. So it would be fantastic to have another sci-fi series to get excited about. The cast is great. Sophia Botella, I think she was the mummy, wasn't she, in the Tom Cruise version? Charlie Hunnam, no stranger to sci-fi, Pacific Rim, and he was in Sons of Anarchy. Anthony Hopkins, Jenna Malone, who obviously Zack Snyder has used before in Sucker Punch, Carrie Elwes, the Dread Pirate Roberts himself, Corey Stoll, who we obviously last seen with his big mangled CGI face as MODOK in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Jimon Hounsou, who else we got? Bae Doona, who's been cropping up in just about every Korean thing that I've watched recently, and Ray Fisher, another Snyder alumni from was Cyborg, wasn't he, in the Justice League movies? So he's got a great cast. Say Zack Snyder's a great visual director. As I say, I'd love to see a quality science fiction. We've got Dune Part 2 coming up at the end of the year as well, so it could be a bumper year for sci-fi projects. I think the date on Rebel Moon is looking about, I think it's December the 22nd was what I heard, which makes sense. Netflix do tend to post up a big movie for the Christmas season. And as I say, if it does well, expect to see more sequels in the pipeline. And I think that now that we've had some visuals, usually it's not long after that we get a trailer. Obviously, we're still almost 6 months out from release. But yeah, a teaser trailer, which might give us some more idea of the scale of the production. Hopefully, should be coming shortly. Oh, and also I read an article that suggested after the whole release the Snyder cut malarkey going on with Justice League, that already they're talking about there would be a Snyder cut of Rebel Moon. That possibly it may be that there's like a family friendly version and then a more adult version that would be released on Netflix at the same time. Is one of the rumors. So possibly that's the way they're going. I say if it's one of those things. If it's on Netflix, if it's not getting a cinema release and it's not getting like a physical media, sort of Blu-ray release, about having a director's cut is a strange thing. But I suppose yes, releasing two versions of the movie onto a streaming platform, I can see maybe they would go that way. That's about it from me. Hopefully you liked just this little look at Rebel Moon. Hopefully something to look forward to, as I say, for science fiction fans later on in the year. So until next time, take care and eat geek and be merry.